Hey, I'm Kevin, the Paracordist. I want to show you a new knife lanyard I came up with. Basically came out of a question I was asked by someone saying or wondering if I could attach my pacing beads to a knife. And I had done something like that before, but it wasn't something I was satisfied with. So I decided for this request I'd go back to the drawing board, try to come up with a set of ranger beads that could be incorporated to a knife lanyard and have the same functionality as my PSK lanyard. So this is my PSK lanyard, as you may recall or have seen in one of my other videos. What this lanyard allows you to do is to have an adjustable thumb loop for the purposes of having a proper retention on your knife or hatchet or whatever. So went back to the drawing board on my pacing beads and came up with a way to make a combined pacing bead / PSK knife lanyard. Now I'll walk you through the construction. Okay, now for the run through of the knots on the design. First, on top of the lanyard is the loop. This can be done in any size depending on the size required to pass through the lanyard hole on your knife and a girth hitch or a lark's head knot. This one here is particularly small because it's actually going to be used on a K-bar knife, and it's going to pass over the pommel like this and then be tightened up. So it's not going to be kind of a typical installation where you would just pass it through the lanyard hole on your knife and walk away. So here's the loop. We've got a black loop, and that black cord actually runs through the core of the entire lanyard and out to the bottom. So it starts here with a 2-strand diamond knot. Then what I do is I take a length of green olive drab cord and I work it through the 2-strand diamond knot in such a way that it comes out the bottom on both sides. So I have a black strand here and olive, and a black and olive here. Okay, so then I put on my sliding beads, 4 on one side, 9 on the other, and then with the 2 strands I do a 2-strand diamond knot here and a 2-strand diamond knot here. This is not followed around a second time because this particular part of the lanyard is going to be wrapped around your wrist, and I didn't want these things to be too large and bulky so that they would be uncomfortable. So I'm going to terminate the olive drab here, and the reason I've left it is because the person I'm sending this to is going to have to work the slack out of this knot after they attach it to their K-bar, and I don't want them to lose this piece. So once they've worked the slack out through this setup, they're going to have to cut and burn that end. But at least this way they won't lose it in the knot. So then I've got a slider here. This is my basically a Ranger pacing bead made out of paracord. It slides up and down on this, and it allows an adjustable length depending on hand size, whether or not you're wearing a glove. Finally, coming into the bottom here, I take the black strands and I do a 2-strand diamond knot. The 2 black strands come out the bottom. Then, just for the purposes of decoration, I've run 2 more olive drab strands up through this knot, and they come out the top here, and that is just to sort of make a tassel effect on the bottom, just for looks. So again, once the slack is worked through this and the person has attached it to their K-bar, these will have to be cut and burn flush. If you look at my How to Make a Ranger Pacing Bead video, you see exactly how I burn these nice and clean.